The objective of this training is to teach you to use the CRANBROOK Loans proprietary payroll and processing system. The first thing that you want to do is double-click on the SalesRepPayrollEntry icon, also known as Mogul, as you can see here on my screen. You may have this type of icon or you may have this type of icon. Nevertheless, double-click on the icon and open up the software. Okay, a few things that you see here. You have your username and your password, which is in the beginning always your first initial and your last name. This is where you could change your password, and we do want you to change your password after you log in the first time. So for the purpose of this training, I'm going to log in as R-A-Z-A-R. Okay, so I log in, and there's two different ways to go into this system. You can see here now you have two new options. You can update your profile. In doing so, you would maintain your address, your social security number, your default health deduction. This is what will automatically come off the top of the gross profits for your health insurance, and your other contact information. Please make sure that this is always accurate. The next thing that you can do is you can go into the payroll system. Okay, the way you would do that is by clicking on your name here underneath the self area. So we click on this, and now we're into the payroll system. There's a few things that we can do. You can see all your loans in here. You can search by loan ID or client's name. Okay, so we could add a new loan, and we would go through the client information screen, the loan information screen. All this stuff has to be completed. Okay, loan amount, interest rate, term in months, amortization, lender, lien position, loan type, purchase or refinance, the date that the loan goes into processing, the day that the loan is funded off of the HUD statement. This is automatically going to input your name, the way that you generated the business, okay, the estimated gross profits, and if there's a second mortgage, you would do that for this field over here. Okay, costs, you would utilize this off the HUD. You type in the appraisal cost, the appraisal. If an appraisal is to be paid, it would go into this field. This will subtract from your gross profits, unless we received money directly from the title company over and above that from the HUD. Otherwise, if the borrower had paid that outside of closing, or if title paid that from the HUD, you would include that here. And then you would select the pay method if it was paid outside of closing by the borrower, if the title company paid it, or if we're paying it directly. Then you would select your appraiser from the drop-down list here. And if you don't see your appraiser, you can send an email request for that to be done. You would input the surveyor cost the same way. If there's any external processor costs, there's usually not. Internal processor costs, that's automatically filled in for you. Then you'll select your processor. You'd input any other fees that were collected. If there's any other miscellaneous fees, these miscellaneous fees will cut checks to the appropriate vendors. Okay, so you would you would input the amount here, put the description in here, and select we have a miscellaneous lenders or a miscellaneous list, and then you would select either miscellaneous 1 or miscellaneous 2, and then you'd select who is to be paid. Okay. If there's a miscellaneous fee to be collected that with no check to be cut, you would input that here. Document preparation, underwriting fees, if we collect them, flood certification, if there's any interest only, once again, if we collect that. If you don't know, the best thing is just to leave it blank. Same thing with escrows. Broker credit, if you provided a broker credit to the borrower, this is where you would input that number. If there's any appraisal credit, same type of thing. You can put it in broker credit or appraiser credit. And if you want a refund check to be cut to the customer, if it's approved by CRANBROOK management, you would input that number here, and that will automatically prompt a check to be cut. Over here, revenues, you'd input your rebates, buy-ups, origination, discount fees, broker fees, and if there's any undercharges, if you didn't charge a particular fee that does cost money, and you're familiar with that, then you would input that in the undercharge. That would subtract from the gross profits. This is where you would input the check amounts from the title company. If you are depositing any money into your advertising, that would go here. If you're depositing any money into your health insurance, that would go here. As you could see from this user's default, he had $100 going into his budget. As you can see, that's automatically in there. For base marketing fees for the new generation home loan professionals, the default is $500. That would automatically be placed in the base marketing fee there. Okay. If there's anybody else to be paid not associated or affiliated with this particular borrower or loan, then that information could go here. Maybe a previous appraisal to be paid that was missed, that's coming off the top of the gross profit of this deal, that would go in here. And then you'd have a summary. This is where you could see the checks, check numbers, if the customer refund, when the check was cut, what that check number was, and things of that nature. Okay, so then that would be added here. You can also see when the checks have been cut as well. You can go in and you can look at reports, health reports, advertising reports. If you do deposit money, you can look at your stock options here. You can do results as you discuss. Every Friday you have a meeting with your manager and you discuss your numbers. The numbers are input into this area here, and you can evaluate your numbers and look at some reporting here. You can also do reporting, company reporting to see. Currently we're March of 2007, and we do a ranking by the year. It's going to pull up a report that we can evaluate the current position. This shows average gross profits. This shows the sum of all gross profits. This shows the average loan amount. This is just for the month. This shows the loan amount sum, and this shows the total number of loans. And that's a rankings report, and you can get that in real time. And you can look at different months as well. We can look at December of 2006, let's say, and we can see who was leading the pack in 2006. You can also do date range reporting. You can look at that same report, that rankings report, but you can look at it for a year, a period of time of a year. Say January of 06, January 1st of 06 to December 31st of 06, and you can do a rankings report, and then you can see the same thing but for the whole year. You can also see your individual totals. You have to reestablish a date range for your totals, and then you can see your totals, and you can see the particular borrowers and all that good stuff. Okay. Now, this is what one looks like completely filled out.